Anyway, then you had this whole transvestigation thing blowing up around 2015, 2014, and then around 2015, it started to have the hardest core truth dropping, and that is that this whole shapeshifter thing, and that's another truth that's been dropping. Well, this whole shapeshifter thing, this is really fallen angels and demons, okay? You began to have that kind of stuff dropping, and it just tied everything together. For hundreds and thousands of years and decades, you had people talking about these reptilians, these shapeshifters, this another species of mankind, these vampires. You had people talking about it, but you couldn't quite tie it together. Well, here it is. You can tie it together now. Around 2015, you had people starting to tie it together, and they were saying that there's another species of mankind who aren't exactly human. And this species, they're tranny, and they're clones, and inside of them are not human spirits, but rather are demon and fallen angel spirits, okay? You began to have that, and, it's the truth. So if you ever believed in reptilians because you knew that there was some people just weren't human, well, here you go. It was everything I just said back there, okay? So, you began to have all of these truths, and now you have people saying human spirits, there was a war in heaven, and some spirits, and some angel spirits, they went with Satan, and they became the fallen angels, and then some angel spirits in heaven, they were kind of lukewarm, and these lukewarm spirits, I guess, they began to become human, and that human spirits may be lukewarm angel spirits. Now, I don't know if that's true for sure, but there's an element of truth there. It rings true, okay? And now you have this eclipse happening, and you have some people saying maybe there'll be a rapture soon, and I don't know if any of this is true, but it's a possibility. But what I'm really going at here is all of these all of these really deep truths, as far as the second species of mankind, as far as the flat earth, the clones, the tares, human beings being angel spirits. I'm kind of disappointed, because you could have kind of came to these conclusions, just by following the Bible, okay? I mean, if we really had people who were truly serious about following the Bible, I think we could have gotten Boys Farm. That doesn't sound right. There's a place out there called Boys Farm. Sounds rather rapey, but if there are children being raped there, they're probably just all clones anyway. So, but anyway, a lot of this stuff, man, it could have been cracked by just following the Bible and reading the Bible and going over things, fasting, praying, yet again. Well, the camera's still running, so I'm gonna just keep talking. By fasting and praying, a lot of these things, they really could have been cracked, alright? And I'm just saying, it's kind of, it's sad to me that a lot of these truths, red light, a lot of these truths had to be brought out by non-humans. Green light. Okay. A lot of these truths had to be brought out by non-humans. You would have thought there would have been like a few more humans coming out there who really would have been on their game, who could have cracked this, just on their own. But instead, that's not how it was. You thought there may have been more humans looking over video footage, seeing that various things weren't right. And maybe with 9/11, that's how maybe some of it was. But with some of these other things, probably not. Maybe there were real humans who are cracking apart 9/11. Maybe, I don't know. But with some of these other things, it took non-humans to get human beings to be on it and to tell humans, like, hey, take a look at this. Take a look at flat Earth. Take a look at these trannies. Take a look at these clones. Take a look at these shapeshifters. Take a look at, these verses saying that people may have been angels or something like that, okay? It took non-humans to really get human beings into that kind of stuff. And, it's kind of disappointing that there weren't more real humans on their game. But, I get it. Because, that's kind of the point of the rat race. The point of the rat race is basically to have all these people so busy with working and doing this and doing that, and I gotta screw all these chicks, and I gotta maybe eventually I gotta get married, or I gotta get a good job, I gotta go to college, I gotta be be successful, I've gotta not be ashamed of my family or myself, I gotta impress my friends, and yada yada yada. You got so many real humans focused on that they just don't have time to focus on uncovering the deeper truths of this world. They just didn't have the time, I suppose. And that's kind of sad, but also that's how they set this world up, so that you're so concerned with the rat race that you didn't take the time to smell the roses and to really see what was really going on and the nature of control in this world. Because again, most people are not really humans, and I'm talking about humans now. How long has most people not been humans? I don't know, but it may have been a long time. Maybe for decades, maybe even for centuries, I don't know. Certainly, the further you go back, the higher the percentage of humans were. But, nowadays, it might be like 95% of people might actually not be human. 10 years ago, maybe it was only 60 or something like that, okay? I'm just throwing out a number here. 100 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe it was only 70. 100 years ago, maybe it was only 40. I mean, who knows what the numbers are? That's a project I might be working on in the next few weeks, maybe. Trying to look at old pictures and determine how many trannies there really were throughout human society. But look, some of these southern mountain towns are really, really nice. You can tell they have money. You know, I'm in the South, but it's not like, you know, hillbilly redneck. You know, it's not like that. You know, in some of the places, it's like that, and you know, it's kind of poor. In some of the places, in some of these mountain towns, these secluded mountain towns in the South, you know, they somehow got a lot of money. You know, a lot of it might be, you know, who knows? You know, some of it might be that old slave money. Some of it might be loan money. You know, bounce back from the recession money. You know, is it George Bush era money? I mean, I don't know, but you know, yeah, man. Some of these southern mountain towns, they be having some money, and you don't really know it. But you know, anyway, yeah, that's just kind of the video. You know, human beings have been really guided in this world for quite a while, and most people have not been human. Most people have not been human. Most people have been like, you know, most people have not been human. Most people have been like, you know, on some inhuman kind of stuff. And most people have been guided through their lives by non-humans, and maybe they have human children before they get cloned, or maybe they're blessed enough to live their lives as humans. But basically, human beings, real human beings, are like sheep, and they're, you know, they're herded to and fro by the masses, and the masses are non-human for the most part, and they do this, and they get humans to feel a certain type of way, and but yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of this world, how it really is, and you know, it's sad, but that's how it is. And now you finally have at least, it seemed like, you know, a bunch of Hispanics, you know, they was out in the yard, maybe like 12 of them or whatever, and they were like reading scriptures. I don't know if, you know, they were clones or not, but if they were, hey, that's fine with me. And if they were, you know, I don't know, maybe if you're a clone but you're really regretful, maybe God will have some place for you. I don't know. I mean, if I was a clone, I would certainly try to turn against Satan and try to follow God. I mean, you know, if you're on this earth, that's what I would do. You know, I'd hate to follow Satan into hell. Like, you know, beings will do what they do. But, you know, I don't know what else to say. You know, just that humans kind of dropped the ball. And, you know, it's kind of sad, but it kind of is what it is. And, you know, as far as me, you know, you know, I was born in 91, as my username would suggest. So, you know, yeah, I didn't really uncover anything either. You know, I'm kind of at the cutting edge of this cloning thing. You know, I'm probably one of the few humans who have a real good, strong grasp of it. But, you know, even I didn't really uncover anything really. But, you know, sometimes I came into the truth, and I really began a close walk with God. I was like 23, and sometimes I sit and I think, well, if I had came into the truth at, you know, 13 or 15 or 17, would I had uncovered certain things? Would I had stumbled upon the flat earth? Would I had brought it out? Would I have uncovered these trannies? these clones, shapeshifters, you know, and the answer is probably not. I mean, you know, flat Earth, maybe, you know, probably not. I definitely wouldn't have gotten the trannies. I mean, you know, because, hey, you know, I used to, you know, feel certain types of way about some of these celebrities and do certain types of things with them. And it's like, you know, if you had told me Tyra Banks or Beyonce was a tranny, I would have been like, what? No way. No way she's a tranny. But, yeah, man. You know, that's how it is. And, you know, that's how it is. But, you know, it just is what it is. You know, would I have maybe gotten onto the shapeshifters? I mean, when I wasn't religious, I didn't even, I had heard of the reptilian thing, but I wasn't even really into it. Like, I didn't really believe it. I believed that there were humans who were working with non-humans who I thought were aliens, but I didn't actually think that there was, like, humans who were non-human, or humans who had non-human bloodlines. I didn't really believe in any of that. If I had been religious, would I have believed in that? As like a dragon serpent seed kind of thing? I don't know, maybe. But, you know, and I also think, well, what would have happened if I had been born, you know, earlier? If I had been born 5, 10, 20 years earlier, how much of this would I had came onto? And, you know, the answer is, I don't know, but I might have gotten cloned out. Like, if I was born 10 years, if I was born 10 years earlier, I would have probably not been religious, and I would have been cloned out, I think. I mean, I don't know. If I was born in, like, the 70s, I mean, because I am not a naturally religious person. You know, I kind of had to see it for myself. I had to see demons for myself. And when I saw demons for myself, then I began to believe. But even then, I didn't begin to believe enough. Until I found out I was a Hebrew, I didn't really begin to believe enough and to pray enough to stop myself from being cloned, I believe. And then after I, you know, came into that Hebrew Israelite stuff, I began praying on a regular basis and to take away some of the sin energy that was in me in order to not be cloned out. But yeah, if I had been born 20 years earlier, I think maybe if I was born 5 years earlier, I might have came across some of that Israelite stuff and might have started to care enough to not be cloned out. If I was born 10 years earlier, maybe not. I might have been a goner. I don't know. I mean, because I was on that, you know, whole agnostic, non-religious tip for a long time. And a lot of those type of people have been cloned out. And there's only so long you can be an arrogant atheist. There's only so long you can be an arrogant atheist type before you lose your soul. Because most people who are into that arrogant atheist type of stuff, they're actually not human. They're like fallen angels. And there's some dumb humans who believe in that kind of stuff too. And what happens to those dumb humans is that they get replaced. Okay? Eventually. And since I was into all of that, you know, I might have been replaced. Like, I believed in evolution and the Big Bang and all that. And, you know, a lot of times I was like a deist. Like, I might have believed in a God, but not really the God of the Bible. But maybe there was just some God who just did the Big Bang and then just stepped back. But I didn't believe in Jesus. And, you know, I didn't believe in a biblical type of God who was so personally involved in everything that we do. And, you know, that's sad, but it was what it was. Oh, shit. Dude, you couldn't have gotten over anyway. Huh.